Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to do a separate file, a separate video of this Interstate 80. And 94, I guess. Not a whole lot of trucks out here today. Mostly four-wheelers. That sounds better. wish I made it home earlier today. Could have done some riding around. Just got an email here from Alexander Gulias. He's asking, what is the reason you left well? Boy, and Alexander, that's a long, long time ago. Many things, Alexander, that played into me leaving well. Not just one particular things. It accumulated of many issues. First and foremost, it's really got to do with a better income. I can honestly say that I am making, I wouldn't say twice as much, but maybe a half more than what I did with them. I am frequently home on weekends. I mean, granted, sometimes I get home late Saturday like this, or even, then I have to leave Sunday morning. I don't really. Do you realize that I work every day? Of course, Sunday I get up, drive 100 miles, deliver the load, drive 100 miles back, and go home, and stay home until Monday afternoon. So, in all purposes, I work every day. But I get to go home, a lot more frequently than I did with well. With well, I could, sometimes I don't get home. I started with well, I did what, 4 to 5 weeks at a time. Yeah, that was really long. Granted, I miss the southern routes. I miss the New Mexico, Utah, Colorado's. Yeah, I miss the desert and stuff. But this is okay too. The biggest city I go through is Chicago and Indianapolis and Columbus. That's about it. And then, the YouTube issue also contributed to that, because Whale said that no more videos, no more YouTubes. In fact, the only camera that was allowed inside the cab was their drive cam. And I don't know, it just as probably not many of you know, the owner of this company is also like one of my subscribers. That's how he found me. For months and months when I was working for Well, he must have called me 3-4 times asking me to, work for him. And I would always tell him, no thanks, I got a good job here. And then he heard about the no more videos and called me up one day and say, are you ready now? I said, yes, sir. And I didn't really know anything anything at all with this company. I'm not one of those guys that do extensive research. I just kind of took a leap of faith, and it seems like at the time everything was falling into place. And by the grace of God, man, everything right now is working great. Look, I'm not knocking Well, okay? They are a good company. They're a very organized company. But from what I have learned recently is working for a big company like that and a tiny little fish company like this, I've never been so relaxed. It seems like, I guess every company out there is kind of like, the bigger the company is, the bigger they micromanage you. And they watch every aspect of what you do. They even put a camera facing you, and that didn't really. I felt like I was a lab monkey. Didn't like that. And little things, little things that here and there and all that stuff, and well, a large company like that, they have their business to protect, and so they should. But from what I have compared it now, man, it is so relaxed. I mean, the only thing that my boss is expected of me is do your job, don't be late, don't get into an accident, and just call me when you get there. Like today, I didn't even do a check call today, or I don't even do check calls at all. Now that doesn't mean he doesn't check up on the Qualcomm over here, but it seems to me like do your job and I don't want to hear from you. So those are the major reasons that I did. And for a very long time, I resisted moving here because, man, I've been with Well for at least 13 years. I mean, granted, on the employee record, I've only been there, 5-6 years? Well, that was because, 4 or 5 years of that, I was an owner-operator, leased to them, so they don't count that as employment. So AJ right now is 13. See, you could have speed up. AJ is now 13. And I know AJ was somewhere low. Got to be at least 1 year old when I moved there. Or not even that. So anyway, I was reluctant to move out of Well because being there that long, but I really didn't have any incentive to stay. I mean, it's not like I had any retirement plan or 401k, or it's not like I invested anything in the company. I mean, it just, I did, however, miss the idea of not seeing the same people I've been seeing for the last, 13 years. But man, life goes on. Life has to move on, and in fact, I kind of shot myself on the foot, because months before I moved here, my boss actually called me, and he offered me a somewhat of a dedicated regional run that paid a certain amount of money, which is really good, but I was too stubborn and too dumb to realize it. And so I said no, and wouldn't you know it, he's got that position filled already, and he's making a lot more. I would have been making at least $300 more or two if I took that one particular load he was talking about. No, the only thing one of the things that I resisted was I had this, 2-3 weeks paid vacation with wealth, and man, I didn't want to lose out on that, My boss matched it. He offered it, and okay. Next thing I know, I'm cleaning out Miss Blue. Riding down to Maryland. Get this, I didn't even have to do a road test. Well, yeah, I did. He's been watching me drive for the last, a year and a half. I guess that was my audition. What do you think? Yeah, he's been watching my video, watching me drive for the whole year or so. I guess he kind of liked the way Miss Blue drove, so that was it. I don't know. I guess I'm a kind of person that doesn't like change that much. I'm scared to move. Oh boy, look at the time. I'll be right back. Peace.